What is your American dream?
I come from Myanmar. The American dream to me is to be able to start my own business one day.
I am from Texas. My family is from Guatemala. My American dream is pursuing happiness while also having stability.
I'm from Connecticut. My American dream is to fight for justice and to scream for the voiceless.
I'm from the former Soviet Union, which is now known as Russia. The American dream to me, despite being an immigrant, means to give the opportunities and dreams to my children the same way that my family gave to me.
I'm from China. My American dream is to be a fashion designer in New York because I love fashion so much.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. My name is Brad Bernstein. This is Brad Show Live. This is Precautionary Pandemic Quarantine Edition. Not Quarantine Edition, Precautionary Pandemic Quarantine Edition. I didn't even tell Jilly this. I just about 20 minutes ago got my Corona test back because I was traveling. And we have to make sure that I don't have Corona before I leave and go back to the office and go about my day. And the drum roll, please. I do not have Corona, thank God. But it's very strange. The doctor calls me up. He says, I'm not, because I called up. I said, where's my results? The doctor wants to talk to you. And I got very scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I have Corona. I called Lenny in my office, for those who know. I said, Lenny, you think I got Corona? The doctor's not answering the phone, but they want to speak to me about the Corona test. So I got nervous, but I feel fine. I feel perfectly okay. The doctor said they also did the antibody test for me. And when they do the antibody test, that tells you whether or not you had Corona in the past. And the doctor says we send it to 2 different labs to confirm your antibodies. And if you have antibodies, the theory being, although nobody knows 100% certain, but the theory being that if you have antibodies, then you're immune to getting Corona. So the doctor told me 1 test came back that you have the antibodies and 1 test came back that you don't. So we're very confused. We've never seen this happen before. So I don't know if I have antibodies or not. I don't know if I should go back and take it again or what's the difference? I don't have Corona at this present time. That's the most important thing. So I will be out of quarantine. I will be coming out of the doghouse, i.e. my apartment, and go out into the world after this show. And of course, we'll be back live Monday now for certain in the studio. And we'll be joined by Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Vanessa Nesquik Contreras on Monday. Maybe they're already in the comment section. I don't know. For those who are new, however, this is the Precautionary Pandemic Quarantine edition of Brad Show Live. It's me from my dining room table. The big show, which you'll see on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't have any travel plans. I don't plan on being sick. So we're going to be going straight through Thanksgiving week. So we're going to have week after week after week of Brad Show Live. You're going to have so much Brad Show Live. You're going to be, Brad, take a week off already. We're tired of 2 hours of Brad Show Live. That's how much Brad Show Live you're going to get out of Brad. So nevertheless, on our Monday show, we have a big 2-hour show. This is just a 1-hour precautionary pandemic pop-up edition. And for those who have never joined before, you get to call in to our show. You get to speak with me. We have amazing interviews, games. Yo-Yo and Nesquik are really fun people. That's why we have them. We have them for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons is they're really fun. But not the only reason they're with us. Nevertheless, the point being, it's really, really, really informative. entertaining, fun. I don't have to tell you. You guys know this already. So if you haven't already joined the Brad Squad, if you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, if you haven't already liked and follow us on Facebook, what are you waiting for? Go do it. Go like and follow us on Facebook so every day I come on, especially when the big show starts back on Monday, you're notified. Join the Brad Squad on Facebook. I promise you, Brad Squad, you're going to get a lot of benefits and goodies coming up. Promise. Or my name's not Uncle Brad. And finally, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. All of those reasons, you guys, to do that, for subscribing and liking and following, you get a ding every time we come live. You'll never miss our show. Doesn't mean you have to watch it, but you'll get a ding. You're like, oh, Brad's on. I don't feel like watching. Or, oh, Brad's on. Can't wait to see him. Or you may say, oh, Brad's on. I don't want to see him. But Yo-Yo and Vanessa are with him. That's great. I want to watch. Or if you're part of Brad's Squad, you get inside stuff. It's coming. I promise you. I promise you. It's all in the works. It's in the stew. We're making it all up. All right. With that, let me say hello to the squad. Because if I don't say hello to the squad, it's extraordinarily rude on my part. I don't like to be rude. Let me say hello on Facebook to Asila Enot, squad up. How are you, Stargirl Mika, squad up. Antonio Smith, I see you watching. Lisa Bling Rose, squad up. Uncle Brad. Elizabeth Francis, squad up. How are you? Tanya Love is watching as well. Dionne Watson, squad up. Who else we have here? Charmaine Thompson, I see watching as well. Stargirl Mika, how are you? Marcia McCullough, squad up. Cordella, what's up, my love? Elizabeth Francis, I think I said that twice. I love Elizabeth so much, I think I said her name twice. Jessica Leamy, Joelle Reed, saying squad up. How are you? Doris Dennis, squad up. Glenda De Silva is watching. I see you. All right. Well, who else we got here? Tracy Rose, squad up. By the way, that's the first time I've ever winked on the entire show. I'm never going to wink again. I just saw myself winking in the camera, and I'm like, I'm not a good winker. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Omar Shippy, squad up. Ninola, squad up. How are you? Yo-Yo, what's up, my man? Haven't seen him in weeks, except on Instagram. So I catch up with him on Instagram, and every so often we text each other, but I haven't seen him. Monday. Tanya Love, squad up. Jen Ingram, how are you? Joan Erica, squad up. Trisha Baldwin, squad up. Let's go over to YouTube. Oh, even on precautionary pandemic quarantine edition, Jeremy Goldberg pops right in on YouTube with Poetry Thursday. Let's see. He has been doing a wonderful job on his poetry. It's been rhyming recently. Let's see what it is. In October, we celebrate Halloween, and while we wait for the coronavirus vaccine, if you have any immigration questions unforeseen, then reach out to Spar at Bernstein. I like it. I like that poem very, very much. That is one of his better poems. Bravo, Jeremy, wherever you are, take a bow. I'm going to read that one more time. Make sure, I think it all rhymes. And I think he used big words too. When he started doing this, it was all tiny words. He's using multiple syllable words now, this Jeremy Goldberg. He's getting much better at the poetry. In October, we celebrate Halloween. And while we wait for the coronavirus vaccine, if you have any immigration questions unforeseen, then reach out to Spar at Bernstein. I love it. All right, squad up. Blaze MB, how are you? Philip Ross, squad up. Jean Love, squad up. Dembasau, haven't seen you in a while. Shan Smith, Kanisha Arnold, saying good evening, Uncle Brad and squad. Pawan Kumar, how are you, sir? I'm very well. How are you? Leslie Benoit, saying hey, Brad. And Sasha Peter, hi, Uncle Brad. I am Sir. I am Brad. I am Uncle Brad. However you want to call me. K, God bless. Squad up. And for everybody else I missed, I'm terribly sorry. I can't say hello to every last person watching, but squat up to all of you. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful day. And now we got to get into something that we like to call schmoozing with Brad. Let's see what's going on in the world. All right, so today is Global Handwashing Day, and now this is a very important day, guys. Very important, especially with coronavirus coming around. It's very important, obviously, for obvious reasons, coronavirus, since keeping our hands clean is probably one of the most important habits we can adopt to prevent contracting and spreading disease, such as coronavirus. But believe it or not, people don't wash their hands, or maybe they don't wash their hands correctly. Now, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hand washing with soap and water can prevent 1 in 3 people from getting sick with diarrhea and 1 in 5 people from getting a respiratory illness. Now, washing your hands is not putting your hands under the water and putting some soap and going like this. That's not washing your hands. If you ever see a doctor or a nurse wash their hands before they go into surgery, they are scrubbing their hands like this for at least 20 to 25 seconds. That's the way to do it. It kills all the germs. Now, I want you to know something. I'm not even that, I don't even when I do wash my hands, I don't do it for 20, 25 seconds. I probably do it for about 10 seconds. You're supposed to do it for 20 to 25 seconds. So that's my advice, even though I don't always follow my own advice. Now, a July poll, interestingly, found that 88% of Americans said they are now washing their hands more frequently. Now, despite the risks of catching or spreading disease, hand washing is performed only by 51% after events of fecal contact. That is gross, man. That means 1 out of 2 people who sit on the toilet and wipe their tuchus, according to this, don't wash their hands. That's gross, man. Gotta wash your hands after that. That's making me sick. If I think about that, I'm not even going to want to eat dinner tonight. Now, Global Handwashing Day is an annual global advocacy day established by the Global Handwashing Partnership to advocate for hand washing with soap as an easy, effective, and frugal way to prevent diseases and save lives. Some people don't wash their hands because they think disease can't happen to them, or they underestimate the severity of the risk of disease, and men wash their hands less often than women. But that would make sense. I think men generally are dirtier people than women. I think women are cleaner generally than men, but what do I know? It's just my 2 cents. Now, being in a rush with work responsibilities can also make us forgetful too to wash our hands. And the signs and social cues, since we care what others think, are not always present while we're physically distancing. However, hand washing is a privilege sometimes that billions of people wouldn't take for granted. There are now 818 million children in the world who don't have access to basic hand washing with water and soap at school. Can you imagine? You can't imagine in this world that almost 818 million children in the world, that's almost 1 billion children, don't have access to water and soap at school. At least 3 billion people, or 40% of the world's population, do not have a hand washing facility with soap and water at their home. It's terrible. Meanwhile, yesterday, First Lady Melania Trump posted a personal essay on the White House website detailing her experience battling COVID-19. She revealed also that her 14-year-old son, Barron, got it as well. Now, she has now tested negative for the virus, as has Donald Trump. According to Trump's doctors, Melania says Barron had no symptoms. Trump told reporters on Wednesday that Barron's doing fine. As for Melania's symptoms, the First Lady wrote that they were minimal, that they hit me all at once. It seemed to be a roller coaster of symptoms in the days after. She said she had body aches, cough, headaches, extremely tired. But unlike her husband, Melania did not go to the hospital for treatment and remained sequestered in the White House residence. And similarly, Melania wrote that she did not opt for the same course of treatment as Trump, saying she chose a more natural route, vitamins and healthy food, and not a cocktail of medications. Now, actually, I find that very interesting because what I have found in my life of meeting people from all over the world is that Americans, including myself, are very, very quick to go take a pill from a pharmaceutical company like Donald Trump did, while people who come from other areas of the world are less likely to trust pharmaceutical companies and more likely to go healthy. And Melania obviously was born in Eastern Europe. I'm not saying that's why she did it, because she doesn't trust pharmaceutical companies. I'm just saying that's kind of like my what I've learned from dealing with people from around the world. I could be wrong, but it's just it's not a scientific thing in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying it's just my own perception of people, that Americans seem to take drugs a lot, pharmaceutical drugs a lot quicker than people from other parts of the world. Now, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease, called the ceremony where everybody got sick at the White House, the Rose Garden speech that was filled the audience during the Republican National Convention and was maskless at the September 26th Rose Garden ceremony to announce Amy Barrett's Supreme Court Justice nomination. That's where everybody got sick, and Fauci called that the super spreader event. Now, according to statistics from Johns Hopkins University, there are now over 38 million coronavirus cases worldwide. In the United States, over 7.9 million people. Every time I say coronavirus, I still think of Cardi B with the coronavirus from eight months ago, that coronavirus song that somebody made up, sampling Cardi B. The Trump administration has indicated they're open to natural herd immunity now as a way to beat coronavirus. That means that 70% of the United States would have to catch the disease in order for it to dissipate amongst the population. Because if more than 70% of the people have caught the disease, then they would not be able to catch it a second time, because presumably they would have the antibodies. And then because they wouldn't be able to catch it again, they would not be able to give it to somebody else. It's the same theory of getting a vaccine. If 70% of the population is vaccinated, then it would also dissipate as well. Wouldn't go away forever. It wouldn't go disappear. It would still be around, but it would dissipate a lot. Now, more attention has been devoted to long haulers, people who can't shake COVID symptoms weeks, sometimes months after they should have recovered from the virus. A CDC study found that 1 in 3 COVID patients still experience symptoms after they caught it: fatigue, shortness of breath, coughing. So I don't know if that's like the smartest thing in the world to do, is make everybody sick. And because you make everybody sick, a lot of people are going to die. But then you say, okay, well, you're sick for a week, and maybe we'll sequester the people who are more, likely to, be hospitalized and die, and the healthy people will make them all sick. But apparently, it doesn't go away after a week. There's a lot of people with fatigue, shortness of breath, coughing weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks after. So it's not as simple as go catch a cold and you'll be fine in a couple of days. Just my 2 cents on it. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, the vice presidential nominee with Joe Biden, she canceled her travel plans until Monday after 2 people involved with the campaign tested positive for the coronavirus. Campaign manager Jen O'Malley Dillon said neither individual had any contact with the vice president or Vice President Biden or Senator Harris or any other staff members. Trump and Biden plan to appear tonight. This is the stupidest thing, by the way, I've ever heard in my entire life. At dueling national televised town hall events. Who the hell are we supposed to watch, Trump or Biden? They're supposed to be having a debate. And because Trump was sick, the debate should be virtual. And instead, they're having dueling nationally televised town hall events at the same moment. How does that help a voter? It's so stupid, I want to scream, but I won't. Meanwhile, looking to undermine rival Joe Biden 20 days before the election, Trump's campaign has seized on an old familiar twist of a new case. What? Yes. Biden's relationship with Ukraine and emails. Remember emails from Hillary Clinton? Emails that, where are the 30,000 emails that nobody ever read? Nobody knew what was in these emails, but somehow Clinton did something wrong with these emails. Well, now they came out with new emails, but this time it's not. It's like the same playbook, but this time it's not Hillary's emails. It's Biden's son's emails. The story was on the front page of yesterday's New York Post. It raises more questions than answers, including the authenticity of these emails. We don't even know where these emails came from. The story's origins trace back to Donald Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who has repeatedly pushed unfounded claims about Biden and his son Hunter. If you remember, Giuliani last year was running around Ukraine looking for dirt on Hunter Biden. Now, the main email highlighted by the New York Post is an April 2015 message that it said was sent to Hunter Biden by a gentleman by the name of Vadim Pozarsky, an advisor to the board of the Ukrainian gas company Burisma. That is the evil company from Ukraine that Trump says, an evil company that Hunter Biden was on the board of. In it, he thanks Hunter Biden for inviting me to Washington, D.C., give me an opportunity to meet your father. Now, the wording makes it unclear if he actually met Joe Biden. The Biden campaign said in a statement that it reviewed Biden's schedules from that time, and there was no meeting described by the newspaper, as described by the newspaper, which took place. The Post says it received a copy of a hard drive containing the messages on Sunday from Giuliani, who has pushed the unfounded idea that Ukraine was trying to interfere with the 2016 election, and the younger Biden may have enriched himself by selling his access to his father. The Post says the emails were part of a trove of data recovered from a laptop that was dropped off at a computer repair shop in Delaware. Now, by the way, nobody's selling access to Donald Trump. You know, nobody's going to stay in. By the way, if you want to come and see Trump and you don't stay in his hotel in Washington, D.C., I can assure you, Trump ain't seeing you. Meanwhile, it says the customer, whom the owner could not definitively identify as Hunter Biden. The Post says the emails were part of a trove of data recovered from the laptop that was dropped off at a computer repair shop in Delaware. So let me get back to what I was talking about. So somebody drops off a computer at a repair shop in Delaware, and all of a sudden, everyone says this is Hunter Biden's computer. We have no idea if it's Hunter Biden's computer or not, but it just mysteriously shows up at a computer repair shop. Giuliani seems to figure out that this computer that was dropped off at a computer repair shop is in fact Hunter Biden's computer. They have stolen the computer and have given all of these emails. We have no idea if this is Hunter Biden's computer. We have no idea if Hunter Biden even wrote these emails. The owner of the Wilmington shop declined to comment Wednesday to the Associated Press, saying he didn't feel like talking. Now, disinformation experts say there are multiple red flags that raise doubts about the email's authenticity, whether these emails even came from Hunter Biden's computer, who this laptop actually belongs to. The story is so shady that Facebook and Twitter have taken the unusual steps to limit the spread of the New York Post story. Facebook has limited the spread of the story while sending it to a third-party fact checker, and Twitter allowed the story to surge to a number 3 trending topic in the United States, although later marked the link as potentially unsafe and blocked it. If this was in a court of law, this entire computer thing would be thrown out because there is no chain of custody for this random computer that says that this is Hunter Biden's computer, let alone that these emails were written by Hunter Biden. And by the way, to me, it's just, like Trump's kids. They're all looking to, make money, use their fame, use their parents' fame to further themselves. What do you think the Ivanka's doing and Kushner's doing and Eric, dumb Eric, and everybody else? Meanwhile, today was day 4, the final day of the Amy Coney Barrett Supreme Court nomination. It's a fait de complete. She's going to be the Supreme Court justice. It doesn't matter what we say, what we do, how angry we get. The Republicans are going to nominate her. End of story. We don't need to get into further. Should she, shouldn't be. It's going to happen. The one thing that I found quite ironic about the Amy Coney Barrett Supreme Court nomination is that it made headlines yesterday when she was unable, this is going to be a Supreme Court justice, she was unable to name all 5 freedoms protected by the First Amendment. When asked to list them, Barrett paused and started counting with her fingers before she added speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, I don't know what else I'm missing. Well, she was missing the right to petition. Now, the question is actually on the United States citizenship test. In order to become a citizen of the United States, an immigrant has to know what are the 5 freedoms protected by the First Amendment. It's asked of almost everybody who goes in for their citizenship test. It's certainly on the study materials for the citizenship test. And here is our Supreme Court nominee, and she doesn't even know the answer. Now, you could say, well, a lot of people wouldn't know, speech, religion, press, assembly, petition. That's the hard one that she forgot. But quite frankly, she's going to be a Supreme Court judge. She better damn know what the First Amendment says. And if she doesn't, she better read it 10 times before she goes in to these meetings to determine whether or not she should become part of the Supreme Court. But it really doesn't matter because she's gonna get elected to it nevertheless. Let's go to some fun news before we get into answering and asking your immigration questions. I saw this in the news yesterday. I thought this was kind of cool. Jesse Katamaya had planned to end a journey around the world 8,000 feet above the sea level at Machu Picchu. People know Machu Picchu. It's the ruins, the Inca ruins in Peru, the sprawling 15th century Inca citadel high in the Andes Mountains in South America. And then all of a sudden, a coronavirus happened, and he got stranded, a 26-year-old Japanese citizen in Peru. They shut down tourism. He couldn't get back to Japan. So he was stuck in Peru for 7 months. And he finally got to visit the World Heritage Site. And aside from a few guides, he was there all by himself, the only tourist at Machu Picchu. When does that ever happen? This is one of the great wonders of the world. Millions of people are always there. One tourist at Machu Picchu. That's amazing. He wrote on Instagram, after the lockdown, the first man to visit Machu Picchu is me. And he included the photo of him with a park representative. Alejandro Neira, Peru's culture minister, said in a virtual news conference on Monday that Katamaya had been granted special access to the site in recognition of his patience. He waited there 7 months to see it. He had come to Peru with the dream of being able to go to Machu Picchu. The Japanese citizen has entered together with our head of the park so he can do this before returning to his country. Now, before the pandemic, Machu Picchu welcomed thousands of visitors a day, hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million people every year. Now, Katamaya's original pass was scheduled for March 16th. He arrived 2 days before at Aguas Calientes, a town at the foot of the mountain. But 2 days turned into weeks and then months, and he just waited there at the foot of the mountain to be allowed to go see Machu Picchu. While he was waiting there, he rented a small apartment in the town and passed the time taking daily yoga classes, teaching local children how to box, and studying for various fitness and sports nutrition certification exams. He wrote on a crowdfunding website in 2019 that he dreamed of opening a boxing gym in Japan. He ultimately decided to stay. He postponed his departure in the hopes that Machu Picchu would reopen. And his patience finally paid off in the end. He became a bit of a local celebrity last week when La Repubblica, a major Peruvian newspaper, covered his vigil and called him the last tourist in Machu Picchu. All right, with that, guys, we have to go do our immigration questions. Before we get into our immigration questions, I want to remind everybody to please leave your questions in our comment section. We're not taking calls today. We're not going to take calls tomorrow. We will take calls on Monday. We're going to be back live show on Monday for 2 hours. We're only doing a precautionary pandemic quarantine edition today. Also, you see the little thing in the corner here that says like what we do. Press the little thumb. There's a gray thumb, turn it blue. Subscribe on YouTube. Like us on YouTube. If you like us on Facebook, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. Also, share this with your friends. Let them know I'm going to be answering their immigration questions right now. And with no further ado, let's do something we like to call getting questions to your immigration questions, or getting we like to call it just social media check-in. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. We're going to start on, I think I started on YouTube yesterday, so we'll start on Facebook today. And then tomorrow we'll start back on YouTube again. I try to be fair. Let's see what's going on Facebook right now. And on Facebook, David Olabui with the first question of the day. Good evening from Oklahoma City. I have a question. I was picked up by ICE the day before my green card interview and was given an NTA. My court date is all the way in 2023, but I got approved for my I-130. Can I get the court to terminate the proceedings before the master hearing date with my approved I-130? You can certainly try. What I would do is I would make a motion to recalendar and terminate. So either what would happen is the judge will just look at the papers and terminate it and then allow you to file the adjustment, or recalendar and terminate it, and then you just get an earlier date. Now, if it's recalendared, most likely the judge is not going to terminate your removal, but then you can get before a judge and file the adjustment before the judge. Whoever picked you up and NTA'd you the day before is a jerk. It's a jerk not only to you, but a jerk to the American taxpayer, because they wasted so much time and U.S. taxpayer money trying to put you in removal when you're when you were getting a green card the next day. That guy's a jerk. He's a jerk to you, and he's a jerk to the taxpayer. And I would tell him in his face. That's annoying to me when I hear that. Guy's going for an interview for a green card on Tuesday, and they put him in deportation Monday. Pascal Atala Haddad Lampshades. What a name, Pasquale Atala Haddad Lampshades. Hey, Brad, you're the best. Thank you very much. My question, my 3 kids last year, they took the green card and the passport. When should we do naturalization? Hey, Brad, you're the best. My question, my 3 kids last year, they took the green card. When should we do naturalization? I don't know what you mean. I assume they got a green card last year. I don't know enough about the kids, how old they are. First of all, you can't naturalize until at least you're 18. Also, if you got a green card as a child, you have to have a green card for 5 years because the children didn't get it by marrying somebody. So at least 4 years away, they have to be over 18. However, now there's something about a passport here. Are you saying, Pascal Atala Haddad Lampshades, that you have a U.S. passport? Well, if you have a U.S. passport and you are the mother or father of these children and they live with you in your physical and legal custody and they're under 18 and they have a green card, then they're automatic citizens right now. I don't know enough about what's going on in the Lampshade family. But if you tell us more, I'll be happy to give you an exact answer. Let's see what else is going on here. Louis San Vicente with a question. Hi, just a general question. Can I apply for an EB3 adjustment of status after getting approved on my I-140 if I still have a pending change of status to B2 F1 application for 2 years? All my extensions are still pending. You asked this yesterday, and my answer was yes, as long as you're remaining in legal status. You still have to complete the B2 to F1 application and maintain your status that whole entire time. Because if the B2 to F1 gets denied, then you are out of status going back 2 years, and then they would deny your adjustment. So the answer is yes, file the adjustment, but make sure you get the B2 to F1 approved. Let's see. Grams Tedej. Grams Tedej. I'm butchering everybody's name, so I apologize. If someone is currently, but this is Grams, if someone is currently paying a mortgage in Jamaica, can they get a J1 waiver? If you're paying a mortgage in Jamaica, can you get a J1 waiver? No. That has nothing to do with getting a J1 waiver. You get a J1 waiver if you can get a no objection letter from your country and the State Department accepts it saying they don't need you back. You can get a no objection letter if you can show hardship if you had to go home for 2 years to your family members here, or if you get an interested government agency to say your services are needed. But it has nothing to do with you paying a mortgage in Jamaica. Let's see who else we got here. Nino Ninola. I mailed an adjustment of status package to Chicago, Illinois on October 1st. It was at UPS United States Postal Service Distribution Center in Chicago already on October 3rd, but since then I cannot track it. It says in transit to destination. Have you experienced something like this? Is it possible that USCIS does not clear their lockbox, and is that the reason why it's not delivered after 2 weeks? It's possible. In this day and age, it is taking weeks and weeks and weeks to get an application into immigration and get a receipt notice back. I would give them, because of coronavirus and because of all the issues with the Postal Service and because Trump wants to slow immigration down and they were looking to furlough 70% of the immigration workforce, you got to give them, unfortunately, about 4 to 6 weeks for them to accept your application, cash the check, and send you a receipt notice. So it's a little too early, Nino, for you to start freaking out. If you sent it in October 1st and we're now the second week in November and you're still trying to track the package and nothing's happened, then you could start getting a little nervous and give me a call. But until then, stay cool. What else is happening here? Mario Navas. Are TPS, which is temporary protected status holders, still able to adjust status with an advanced parole entry? I have an approved petition. You can adjust with an advanced parole entry if the advanced parole was before August 20, I want to say August 25th, but it's August 20-something, 2020. After they changed the law, August 20-something. I don't remember the exact day, August 20-something. After August, let's call it August 25th, but it could be 24th or 23rd, somewhere around there. If you entered on the advanced parole prior to August, let's call it August 2020. If you entered the United States prior to August 2020, yes, you could adjust. If you used the advanced parole and traveled after August 2020, that is not considered an entry anymore. So hopefully you traveled in days past, not present. And then, yes, you would be able to travel. Marcia McCullough, creepy that some people don't wash their hands. I think that's creepy too. And apparently it's 50% of people. That's crazy. Let's see what else we have here. I sometimes, so many people make comments, so I gotta scroll through and find them. Alex Braun with a question, and this question is on fire. He has 4 fires with this question. So this question is coming in hot and fast. Can somebody have an I-130 petition and an EB-3 I-140 petition at the same time? Is it okay? Not only is it okay, that's perfectly okay. You can have 7 petitions filed at the same time. You could have 100 petitions filed at the same time. You can figure out 100 different ways to get a green card, and whichever way comes in first, that's fine. The only thing you can't do is have 2 adjustments pending at the same time. And also you can't have an asylum pending and filing an adjustment. Those are the only 2 no-nos. Other than that, go for it, man. Go for it. As many as you can. Let's see what else we got here. Kevin Tomlinson. I received a request for more information in February. Having heard anything from them, is that a good sign? Well, I don't know anything about your case, what the request was, or what you submitted in response to that request. So I don't know whether it's a good sign or a bad sign or no sign. All I can tell you is if you're talking about you filed an adjustment application and you got fingerprinted and you got receipt notices and they have not heard back, you have not heard back, and it's now February to October, you got your work permit, then I would say that's a good sign. If you still haven't gotten your work permit and it's now 9-10 months later, then maybe not such a good sign. Let's see what else we got here. J.N. Pereira with a very, very long question. Maybe I think, before J.M. Pereira's question, I think I need a drink. Only water, unfortunately. I'm a United States citizen, and my wife is a green card holder, and I have 3 kids. They're all United States citizens. My wife went out of the country just before the pandemic hit. She's currently stuck in South Asia with my kids. It will be 1 year by early January 2021. If 1 year passes and she still won't be able to return to the U.S., what kind of trouble is she facing? Can she apply for a reentry permit at the U.S. Embassy, or what should I do? First of all, as a green card holder, she can come back to the United States of America. So when you say she's stuck there, she can't be stuck there. She may have to take 6 different planes to get to America. I don't know, if there's direct flights, but as a green card holder, you can come back to the United States of America. She's not stuck where she is. Maybe she's stuck there because she's decided to live there and live out in Southeast Asia with the kids instead of America because of the pandemic. That's a different story. If she's going to stay out for more than a year, she's going to give up her green card. She would have to do what's called an SB1 visa. You can't do a reentry permit outside of the United States of America. So my advice is let her come back to America. And then when she comes back, if she doesn't want to stay, then do the reentry permit. Let's see what else we have here. DipFab, Cake Affairs. Haven't seen you in a while, DipFab. Welcome back. Compared to Medicaid that is under public charge, is Obamacare health insurance a public charge? No, it's not a public charge. On the 944 form, it is neutral. It doesn't help you. It doesn't hurt you. But it's not a public charge. Nikki Trio with a question. Hi, Brad and team. I'm happy to say I got my I-797 approval notice on my I-360 case. And on the notice, it states, thank you. Thank you, Lee. You will be notified separately when a decision is reached on your pending adjustment of status application. Does that mean my I-45 case was reopened and I don't need to request or send a USCIS Chicago, Illinois copy to start working on my I-45 again? Well, I assume what you're asking is that you filed an adjustment with your spouse and then you converted the adjustment to an I-360. Congratulations, the I-360 was approved. You do not have to do anything. They already know you have a pending I-45, and hopefully within the next couple of months, you'll be interviewed for your green card. All good. You don't have to do anything. Just wait. Chioma Ioni Nawabze. Let me try that again. Chioma Ihoni Wabuzi. I think I got it better that time. Hello, Uncle Brad. You are the best, and thank you for answering my question. What is the wait time to get an I-130 approved? Priority date was August 21st, 2020, and the master calendar is for March 2021. Your I-130 most likely will not be approved by your master calendar. You're going to have to go with your lawyer and say it's still pending. It's probably taking well over a year because you probably are requesting what's called a bona fide marriage exemption on the I-130. So it's going to be over a year. You're not going to have it done by March. I doubt it, but anything's possible, but I doubt it. Anita with a question. Hey, Brad, I am a naturalized United States citizen with a Jamaican-born minor that has a U.S. passport, but he is not naturalized. Is it necessary to have him naturalized to be on the safe side? What proof do I have to show that he's a citizen and will not be sent back to Jamaica if certain laws were to change? All right. Number one, if you have a U.S. passport, you're not naturalizing. You're already a U.S. citizen. I don't know, why was he entitled to a U.S. passport? Because he was born in America? Because, because Anita is a U.S. citizen. I didn't understand that part. Okay, so as long as he has a green card and he was physically living with you when you became a citizen, he's an automatic citizen. He has his U.S. passport, he's a citizen. What I would also do is what's called an N-600 for a certificate of citizenship. Actually, when you're dealing with citizenship, the Department of Homeland Security that issues the certificate of citizenship, they're the ones that trump, excuse the language, they're the ones that override the State Department. They're the ones that will make the final determination on citizenship. But as long as he had a green card and he was residing with you in the United States and you're a citizen, he's under 18, he's a U.S. citizen. You're going to do an N-600, a certificate of citizenship, and then he will be definitive citizen for the rest of his life. No worries, no problems. Let's see who else we have here. Kevin Tomlinson with a question. I received a request more information after being married for more than 5 years. They sent me my work permit and social security card. I came as a child on someone else's document. You think I'm going to get an interview soon? They sent me that request for more information in February. I don't know whether you're going to get an interview or not. What document did you come here on as a child? Were you able to present it? Because if you're not able to prove a legal entry, even in somebody else's name, you're not going to be able to adjust your status unless you're 245I or eligible for a parole in place. So I don't know whether or not you're going to have a problem or not. I think you would need a consultation. Let's see. Sam Barg with a question. Hi, Brad. A friend of mine is 2 years green card holder. It will expire in July 2021. He's getting divorced in the next couple of weeks. What are the steps to continue his process to apply for the 10-year green card? Well, there's no law that says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage. He has the 2-year green card. In April or May of 2021, he's going to file an I-751, show he's divorced, prove that up until the time the divorce started that he and his spouse lived together. If you can show it was a real marriage and you're divorced, he's going to file a waiver of the joint requirement to file an I-751. He's going to do it on his own without a spouse. And as long as he can prove divorced and he lived with his spouse and had a financial relationship with his spouse, he's going to get through and get a green card. Jessica Marie with a question. A friend of mine is a 2-year green. Oh, I answered that already. That was asked twice. Elizabeth Francis, Uncle Brad, can I travel on my 18-month extension? That's on the I-751. Absolutely, you can. Enjoy your trip. That is it on Facebook. Let's go over to YouTube. Aderbiji Felicia with a question. Let's see what that question is. I lost her question. Oh, there we go. Aberdigi. What happened to Aberdigi? I lost her question. Here it is. Hi, Brad. I hope you're enjoying your quarantine. Please, I submitted my form I-45 in April 2020. I got my receipt in May of 2020. How long will I get an invitation for a fingerprint? It depends where you live, because they were not fingerprinting people for a while because of coronavirus. It depends what jurisdiction you're in. So I can't tell you exactly. I would need to know where you live, and then we can figure out if they're fingerprinting people there or not at the present time. Samambo Joshua with a question. Hey, Uncle Brad, I'm an advanced lottery select 2021 African region. When at the interview and there's an affidavit of support, a must, will it be a problem if I don't have it during the interview? You need an affidavit of support. Absolutely. You got to show you're not going to become a public charge. Layla Smith, hello. I'm an LPR and I called the National Visa Center for my child. Turned 20 in September. They said I still have to wait till the ban is over. Nothing they can do. In an interview, they will do Child Status Protection Act for him. Okay, if that's the case, or you can give us a call. As long as he's protected under the Child Status Protection Act, then yes, you would have to wait for the ban to be over. If he's not under the Child Status Protection Act, they would have to expedite that petition. Althea Anderson. Hey, Brad, I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen with a Jamaican-born minor that has a U.S. passport, but he is not natural. Okay, I answered that question already. Emily Aparicio. Should my husband apply for an adjustment of status if he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, cocaine, was not convicted, he did drug classes, he's okay, will he be inadmissible? If it was a program where he did not plead guilty and he did some sort of drug program and then they dismissed the charges against him, it's called a pre-diversion program, then he would be okay. If it is a situation where he pleads guilty, the judge says, because, different states do it different ways. If he pleads guilty and the judge says, go do this program, then come back, and then I'm going to expunge your conviction, then that's a conviction for immigration purposes. So it depends what happened. But if it was a pre-diversion program, And that's really the question that you would have to ask your lawyer. Did he go through a pre-diversion program? Then yes, you would be able to adjust his status. Sam Hightech with a question. A friend of mine is a 2-year green card holder, and it's going to expire in July 2021. He's getting divorced in the next couple of weeks. What are the steps to continue his process? I answered that question as well. Choo-choo Peleas. Brad, I'm going to adjustment of status interview for my wife tomorrow, and we're not taking a lawyer with us. Any suggestions or warnings? Yes, take a lawyer with you. Are you nuts? But since it's too late to hire a lawyer, make sure you can prove you're in a bona fide marriage. Make sure you're on the same page. Make sure you understand your living arrangements. It's too late to prep you now. Best of luck. Mundo Adri with a question. Hi, Brad. Is a travel ban being applied for advanced parole holders? No, it's not. What if they deny my entry? Can I call a lawyer? No, you can't, but they will not deny your entry. What are my options if they say no? Say, I want to see a judge. You have a right to see a judge. Miss Sunshine, Uncle Brad, how can I win a free consultation? I haven't seen that in a while. We haven't done it in a while, but maybe we'll do it in a little bit. Tunde Alaha. Can someone who is arrested but not charged and the arrest was deemed not to have occurred by the court have to wait for 5 years for citizenship to prove good moral character despite eligible for 3 years? Well, every time you're arrested, it affects your good moral character. Whether that particular arrest will make you a person of bad moral character, I don't know the answer. If you're basing your citizenship on 3 years because you're married to a U.S. citizen in a bona fide marriage, then of course you only need to prove good moral character for 3 years, not 5 years. Jody Ware with a question. Hi, Brad. I did an interview. The officer told me I need to do another interview, but I never received the notice, but I get a copy. I went to the interview. The officer told me I have no reason for another. Hi, Brad. I did an interview for the officer, told me I need to do another interview, but I never received that notice, but I get a copy. I went to the interview, and the officer told me I have no reason for another. I don't understand your question. Wellington Jordan. Hi, Brad. I'm in Connecticut waiting on a fingerprint from May. Any idea? I don't, but hopefully it'll come soon. Yulin King. Hi, Uncle Brad. I'm so happy you're back. I've missed you. I was bored without you. Thanks for all the great work you do. I really enjoy tuning into you every evening. Thank you. I think I just read a pre-comment of the day. Let's see what else. Do we have any other immigration questions on Facebook? The last question on Facebook for the day. Should my husband apply for an adjustment of status? Oh, I answered that one. Let's get one more for the day. I don't have any more on Facebook. Let's go back to YouTube quickly. Ferbalama, hi, Brad. I'm in removal proceedings. Do I submit an I-45 to the USCIS or inform in front of the judge? You're doing it in front of the judge. Samambo Joshua, in case I don't have an affidavit of support for a DV lottery interview, could I use a bank statement to prove? Well, hopefully you have a lot of money in that bank. I don't know. I would need to speak with you. I think you would need a consultation. All right. Comments of the day. What are our... The first one is from Mimi Sari. Squad up, Uncle Brad. Blessings for you and your family. Also the team. Thank you for all of your help. Thank you, Mimi. And the second comment of the day from Amandeep Singh. I am from Oakland. I love your show. You're a big help for everyone out there. Thank you very much, Amandeep. Now we're going to be back on Friday tomorrow for another precautionary quarantine edition. But on Monday, we're going to have a big show. Please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my show on YouTube. Please don't forget to follow and like us on Facebook. Obviously, if you need to reach me, there's a telephone number scrolling below. Also, I always forget on our precautionary pandemic quarantine, you can follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. If you follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live, you'll get the best 2 minutes of Brad Show Live. You can't handle 2 hours? Well, you'll get 2 minutes on Instagram. That's the most you can handle. Go to Instagram at Brad Show Live. And of course, if you didn't get your immigration question answered today, you could always follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. You can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. Drop me a DM I'll try to answer your question in the DM. With that being said, thank you all for watching. We will see you all tomorrow for our last precautionary quarantine pandemic edition. Big show on Monday. See you then.